Woo-wee, what's going on? YouTube is Donnie all day. I am pretty excited about today. You see this patch? I know it's backwards to you guys, but what it says is Tops Knives, and then it says one life, one knife. And it leads you to think, is it possible to live your life or to get by with just a single blade? Can you buy one knife that just does it all? And I'll tell you what, I think Tops may have just taken care of that for everybody. I'm going to switch the sheaths, and I'll show you why. So this thing is heaven. This is called the Tops Outpost Command. And I have said it before in a different video, and I will say it again. When I saw this, I thought, holy crap, this is a perfect knife design. It's just flawless. And I didn't say it's flawless because they sent it to me. They sent it to me because I said it was flawless. Everybody knows myself, Scab, Choir Boys Outdoors, and Joe, Steel Sword and JS Bladecraft. I always want to go back to his old name, JS Bladecraft. We went to Blade Show together, and lo and behold, there was the Tops booth. And I walked over to this Tops booth. Never have talked to these people before, ever. Never had a conversation with anybody there. I don't have any connections with anybody there. I just went over and I started looking at some of their stuff. A bunch of it I already have. As a matter of fact, I have a Tops blade right next to me. And that wasn't put there just for this video. I just happened to have it there because I had a bunch of Tops knives here. I sent some to Scab to play with, and he's sending them back. But I'm going through their table, and I'm checking a few things, and I'm going, oh, this is nice, this is nice. And then there's some where I was like, oh, I just wished, maybe it was this. And whenever I pick up a knife, I always look at it design first. I think, what would I do different, or what would I do to change this knife, or how could I make this knife more me or better, or this and that. And that's my first thought when I look at a knife or when I pick up a knife. When I saw this knife and I picked it up and I put it in hand, I had to find something about it that I would do different, something about it that I would change, something I would do about it that would make it more me. And there was nothing. There was absolutely zero that I would change about this knife. I put it in my hand, and Joe was over to the side, and I said, Joe, you gotta feel this knife. And I literally walked it over to him. It was all the way around the corner. I walked it over to him. I put it in his hand, and he said, oh yeah, that's nice. And it was just amazing. This thing caught me. And I played with it for a little while, and I held it. This one, and I think one's called the Longhorn, I believe it was called. And I fell in love with those two knives as far as feel. And I told Joe, I said, dude, this is like the perfect knife. There isn't a single thing about this knife I would change, alter, sway, nothing. It's just awesome. So Scab was over down one of the aisles, so I had to go get Scab. And I said, Scab, come over to Tops. Scab's come over to Tops, and I put this knife in his hand. And he said the same thing Joe said. He said, oh yeah, like it's just, I can't explain it to you better than, oh yeah. It's literally when you put this thing in your hand, you feel like I just found my forever knife. And this is the kind of knife where, as a designer, this is the kind of knife where I put in my hand and I think to myself automatically, I really wish I designed this knife. So my first thing was to say to the guys over at Tops, I said, hey, who designed this knife? And they said, I don't know. So they started looking up. They couldn't figure out who designed this knife. And nobody could figure it out. So it turns out they think that it's an in-house design. Like it was just maybe the guys at Tops. And I said, whoever designed it just needs a high five. And I want to pull this knife up because I have to get all the specs. And normally when I do a knife review, I have all the specs laid out in front of me. But knowing that today I was getting to do this, I was so excited I totally forgot to set everything up. So hold on. All right, so I got the page up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this page in the description below so you can get to it and you can check this thing out. I mean, I'm not going to tell you, like, I can recommend a knife all day long. I don't tell you guys to go out and buy a knife. I'm going to say, if you want a badass knife, go out, and I didn't even test it yet. Go out and buy this knife. And we're about to go out there. Let me just read some stuff. I like how it says Outpost Command, alone again, ... surviving a deadly encounter or just a weekend in the woods. So it says, if you're looking for a hard-use 5-6-inch blade, look no farther. The Outpost Command was designed with a military and survival in mind. Its upper swedge, drop point, and sweeping blade make it ideal for multiple uses. It is great for chopping, stabbing, slicing, slashing, etc. You can even choke up with your finger choil, as I was doing earlier, and do finer cuts as well. They are not lying. Now, what I personally, being a combat vet, would I say this is your military knife? Maybe not so much. Can it not be used as a military knife? No, this thing can be used as a military knife. You have a really broad shape. You can do trenching with it. It's sharp. You can cut. It still has enough of a point where if you're in a jam, like in a downed airplane or helicopter, can you cut through fuselage? Yeah, you can use this. But I'm not gonna lie, this right here is the best shape and the whole package for your EDC, like shit hits the fan knife, like get out of the house and survive knife. Like all of a sudden you got that alien invasion coming. I'll tell you what, you need to get out of the house and you need to have a knife to where you can live. You can, like, if you watch Rambo, the first Blood, and that knife he used was only for survival. That's what it was. That was his survival knife. This right here is that kind of knife. It is made to survive on. And I'll tell you, from anywhere to everywhere, this is the kind of knife that'll do it. And not only will it do it, but it's going to be so damn comfortable in the hand while it's getting done. So let's look up the specs and then take it outside. Overall length is 11 1/4 inches. The blade length is 5 3/4 inches. The cutting edge is a full 5 inches in the cutting edge. Blade thickness is 1/4 inch. Blade steel is 1095. And remember that Tops Knives does the single best differential heat treat on the planet. Not just in America, not just from this style of knife to that style. No, they're the best on the planet. That's 100%. So your Rockwell is 5658. Your blade finish is black traction coating. Now, before I get into everything else, I'm going to talk about the coating real quick. First of all, it's a great coating. Second of all, you see people all the time, oh, black coating, it can cause cancer. You can't cut a cucumber, blah, blah, blah. Pirate carry. Guess what? It's not going to give you cancer. You have to eat a whole bunch of this stuff before it gives you cancer. So cutting a piece off an apple in a survival situation, you're not going to die. I promise you. That's one of those things that they have to put on there, because anything that's a carcinogen or anything that's carcinogenic has to be labeled. This stuff isn't going anywhere, and you're not eating it in flakes, right? There's so many people, I've seen so many people have this weird fear. Oh, I got to take off this black coating if I ever want to use the knife. It's stupid. Stop it. Like, educate yourself on what it really means, because just because there's a warning label, it's because it has to be there. Because they know some moron might take off all the black coating and put it in a sandwich. I don't know, but you're not going to get cancer from your black blade. Just putting that out there. So you have the handle material, black linen micarta, and they do some of the best micarta scales on the planet. Sheath included. Yes, I will show you. Designer Tops Team. So it is a collaboration design and just phenomenal. So now the sheath is this. And I know a lot of people, because I speak to a lot of people, don't like these sheaths. I personally am not a fan of this sheath. They do this knife in this sheath. The Silent Hero has a leather sheath. They do multiple sheaths. So there's all kinds of Tops knives with different sheaths. If you don't like the Molly sheath, that's it. And it even has a don't touch my butt whistle. Actually, that's not what it's for. It's for if you're ever lost in the woods and you need help and you can hear people off in the distance, you blow that. It might be a lot louder than you straining your voice, especially if you are dehydrated. So the whistle is actually a really good thing. So this sheath comes with cordage. It comes with a gear bag for either like tinder or lineage or anything that you want to throw in there, sharpening materials, anything you could put in there. It's Molly capable. It is double strapped, which means it is regulated for jumps. I'm just not a fan of the nylon sheaths. Over time, if you keep going on and off and you're using it all the time, yes, your nylon will wear out. But that doesn't mean there's no options. That doesn't mean you're stuck in the woods. And it doesn't mean that if the knife is in there and you, let's say you have this knife for 2 years and you're using it every day, when it's on your side, if you strap it to your leg, you don't have to worry about it going anywhere. The blade's not going to fall out. It's nothing like that. But like I said, there are options, and I'm going to show you. Anywhere you go, anywhere you look, ba-boom. I went out, I picked up a Kydex sheath. I got it right on eBay, and this thing, awesome. So these are dirt cheap. You pick up your Tops knife, and you can find leather sheaths for them. You can find Kydex sheaths for them. You can find sheaths all around the world in any kind of situation, any kind of configuration to mate with these knives. Being that the knife is so popular, there's gonna be options out there, but I think that right there looks amazing. I love it. But we're not talking sheaths today. We're talking, can you survive forever on this one knife? Can this be your one life, one knife? Let's take it outside. All right, so let's get it out here in some daylight so you guys can really, really get a good look at this thing. I just want a every inch it type thing. It's the micarta on there is beautiful. The white liners make it pop. The black with right here, this swedge, how the swedge is formed and left unblackened with the edge being so crisp, you won't get a finer look than that. What it does is it gives you an optical illusion as well. You have a sweet drop point, right? Sweet drop point. From here to here, it looks like a straight line, almost like it's dropped to almost like a reverse tanto. It's not. It's a straight drop point. But the optical illusion is created from the color change and how they do this beautiful compound grind. It doesn't get any better than that. That, as far as the looks department, I think this is as good as it gets in the looks department. The feel department, it's as good as it gets in the feel department. And the balance is great. For a knife this size, it shouldn't be this easy to get it around multiple times. It just shouldn't. The knife is so hand capable. You can do pretty much anything and everything you want with it. But let's get over to the stump and do everything we want to do with it. It's just fantastic, man. The team got together and they put together a perfect knife. You have never heard me say that in a video before, because I always find one thing usually that I would do different or I would change. There is zero things I would do. This knife was sent to me because of that. I'm not talking good about it because somebody sent it to me, and I want to make sure that's very clear. This isn't something Top said, hey, we want to show you a knife if you talk nice about it. No, that's not what happened. This knife I fell in love with, and they were like, well, let's see how you really like it. And I have to say, the jimping here, non-aggressive, just feels really good in the hand. You can see the 4-foot gravity drops. It's getting really good bite. Hard downward throws. I mean, you are just sinking in. just sinking in. And with the screwed on scales, they're not going nowhere. It's not loosening up, nothing like that. Let's see. Oh my gosh. So I got my my unit patch tattooed onto my leg, right? And every now and then hair grows over a tattoo. Well, if you have, look at that nest. I literally just shaved it completely clean. If you have a razor blade of an edge, well, you don't have that problem anymore. All right, so 1/2-inch nylon rope. Let's see, I'm going to choke up, use that choil, and just do a push cut without sawing. I just want to see if we can get a straight cut on that edge, and we can get a straight cut on that edge. Let's see, I got some extension cord here. We're going to give that a nice little pop. That is super clean. You'll notice how those metals, all the little metals in there, didn't fold over. They're just cut completely straight. That's a sharp edge. There's obviously this is not going to get damaged by that. But just golly, leaving the hand, it just feels so good, man. It really, really does. All right, let's take a nice knotted piece of wood here and see if we can't break into it. Break into it. Look at that, right on the knot. Bam! That was nice. That was nice. That was dead center in that knot. Here we go. We're in another knot right here. Oh, that's a good knot. Bam! I mean, that is straight through. If y'all know knots. Now, here's the thing. Because of the grind, it's not going to warp. Normally, this is where you test to see if there's any warping from doing that. That's not going to happen on this knife. It's not going to happen at all. Gosh, this knife is just perfect. It's absolutely perfect. This is a knife that you would take anywhere, do anything with. It just doesn't get any better than this. Ugh. Golly, right there, the hard part right there. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Ugh. This thing is a beast, man. This thing is a beast, baby. All right, let's test the tip strength. Here we have a wheelbarrow. If anybody knows, wheelbarrows are made pretty tough. I just want to pound down on it. Oh, it actually went through. I always put dents in this thing with different knives. The knife is stuck. It's in there. Look at that. No denting, no bending. Dude, that was crazy. Every time I do this test, it's like, boop, I make little tiny dents. This one went straight through. All right. Damn, Tops. All right, so I'm not going to lie. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting just to make a nice little mark in it, and the idea was to see if there's any tip damage. That went straight through. That was crazy. Wow, that was easy. All right, so let's fix you guys up here. Golly, I'm going to be thinking about that one for a little while. All right, let's see here. So 5-inch cutting edge, 5 3/4 inch blade. Does that make it a chopper? Not on all knives. Not on all knives. But this is one life, one knife. Come on, man. This thing is super, super nice. Super, super nice. Ooh. Golly. Golly, if you got to make tent spikes or pit spikes or some kind of fishing spear or hunting spear, anything to protect the camp, anything to keep you alive, anything to hunt with, you're going to be able to do it with this knife. Man, I mean, this thing is just super, super nice. I want to show you down here, right? Normally you have a lanyard hole or a strap hole. This has got both. But you notice how there's 3 of them. If you take cordage and I don't really have anything with me right now, But if you took cordage that fits in here and you make a little knot back there, then you take 3 pieces and you put it there, you braid them together. What you do is you stick this into something and then you hold it there and you braid your line. You go from having a thin piece of cord to having a full piece of rope. Having 3 slots is mega important for that kind of thing. You can turn a weak line into a strong line real quick. What does that do? Maybe it helps you pull something out of somewhere. Maybe it helps you lift something, like if you need to carry your gear up a rock face or something. Anything that you need to tie. Maybe you're building a structure and you need to tie 2 points together. Building rope from string, it becomes real easy with this. So even if you had the fibers in some cord, but you needed them stronger, you braid them together. You just take them out one by one, boom, you braid them. Completely different animal. You have a completely new structure. It's really, really good. And a lot of people don't know that. They don't know that you can do that you can take those 3 slots and go from one piece of string into a braided string and create strength. Let's see. I don't know if we're going to be able to get it around. I have not measured where we need to be for a throw for this. Oh, we're right there. All right. People at Tops are thinking, what the hell is wrong with this guy? So much. All right, let's see. Oh, we're right there. It's always hard holding you guys up while I do this, but we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen. There. All right, so what happens is, if you can throw a knife and you practice throwing a knife until you get good with that knife, then what you can do is you can learn how to hunt with that knife. And hunt as in small game, like, oh, there's a squirrel, there's a rabbit, there's a raccoon, anything that is far enough away, like a duck generally. Look at that. Like a duck you can generally get really close to, or a goose or something like that. And if you're in a situation in the wild and you see something on the ground, something that low, enough practice. That was my first time ever throwing this, and what, like 2 for 4, whatever it was. So a little bit of practice. It would take me literally about 10 minutes to start getting this, just nailing it. It's that easy. But that could be a lifesaver. Even if you don't hit it with the blade, if you don't hit it with the point, I mean, hitting it this way or hitting it this way, you can stun it long enough to get over there with a stick and finish the job. In a survival situation, if you gotta eat, you gotta eat, right? It's just the way it is. This knife, it has a really easy release from the hand. Like letting it go because there's nothing catching you. Letting go from the hand was really easy. Really super easy. So it just came down to learning my distance. And then once my distance is down, I'll have that knife as an all day, every day type thrower. Let's see. Let's do some more pounding on it. Let's do some more, baby. All right, here. This is so knotted. There we go. There we go. I ran out of room. The knots are huge on this. I'm running out of room, baby. Let's turn it around so I have more room to grab on. Ugh! It defeated my my baton, but I'm in those knots, just in them. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I got something. Perfect. 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 Gosh, this thing is so nice, guys. This thing is so nice. All right. Survival time. Survival time. So are you going to be able to make kindling and feather and things like that? Come on, absolutely. This knife is a juggernaut. This knife is a juggernaut. It's hard. It's hard to come across a knife where everything, including look and feel, come together. Like everything. And it's hard when it's everything. Like I've tested some knives that I didn't think were going to perform good, and they did, because looking at them, they didn't have it. This one, I looked at it and I knew right away, this knife is going to be great. This knife is going to be great. And they, over at Tops, they did not disappoint. They did not disappoint, man. This thing is just awesome. It's just awesome. Are you going to be able to feather up and fluff and all that jazz? Yup. Man, they just don't get any better than this. I know this is a long video, and I apologize. I apologize, it's a long video, but we're pretty much done. We're pretty much done. We've got a couple of things left. We'll do one thing left. Let's make sure it can skin. After all that abuse, after going through knot after knot after knot, we're just going to take this leather ball. We're going to show you what's up. This thing, man, Tops Knives. Guys, go to the link below. Look at this blade. While you're looking at this blade, then you can look at the rest of their blades. They have so many pieces. But you won't find a more perfect knife than this one right here. Like, you're going to find on their website a lot of great knives, a lot of great looking pieces. But when it comes to perfection, this one, and I have to say, I believe it was called the Longhorn Bowie. Those are two of the greatest feeling knives I've ever put in my hands. Like, the most complete knives. One life, one knife. Can I take this knife and just go live? I could just leave and live. Yeah, absolutely, 100%, man. 150%. This thing is just awesome. Get out there, check it out. This is the Tops Outpost Command. I am Donnie P all day. Till next knife.